All of this information is going to give us concrete ideas and very, very effective pointed tactics to get our job opportunity in front of them. Hi there, my name's Kelsey Toner and I'm the founder of Guest Focused Tour Business Coaching, where every day myself and our team of passionate tour business coaches help you build a thriving, profitable tour business. Welcome back to our series on how to recruit, hire, and train the most incredible tour leaders possible for your experience business. In our last video, how to recruit tour guides, 6 costly tour operator mistakes, we covered some of the most common pitfalls that we see tour business owners making. If you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend checking it out first. Now, in this video, Tour Leader Recruitment Made Simple, we're going to help you supercharge those recruitment efforts. We're going to share best practices for getting the word out about this job opportunity. We're also going to share some innovative recruiting techniques from our tour business coaches. Remember, the goal in all of this is to make sure that you're getting as many applicants as possible. Our golden rule is aim for at least 3 to 5 times the number of qualified applicants for the number of people that you're looking to hire. Some of the most successful in the industry, that ratio is closer to 10 to 1. The deeper your pool of applicants, the more successful you're going to be in building that team of superstars. So first up, we're going to talk about how your ideal staff avatar can actually be a game changer for focusing your effort and getting great bang for your buck. As a reminder, that ideal staff avatar is really a profile of the ideal staff that you have. This can be based on real life people, but ultimately it is really diving deep on who it is that you're trying to attract. Now, we need to profile information about where they live, how old they are, how they are spending their time, how they are spending their attention, their hobbies, pastimes, what they do for fun, what drives them crazy. All of this information is going to give us concrete ideas and very, very effective pointed tactics to get our job opportunity in front of them. So I thought what we'd do is we'd go through this step by step using a real world example to show how this works. Let's say that we own and operate a family-focused mountain bike tour company in Banff, Alberta, and we're recruiting 5 guides for the upcoming season. We've already created an ideal staff avatar. His name is Billy. We know that he's 21 years old. He's just out of college, and his idea of the perfect day is hitting the mountain bike trails around Banff. But how do we make sure that we can get our job ad in front of someone like Billy? Well, let's use his ideal staff avatar to dictate where we're going to share the job opportunity. So we can easily imagine someone like Billy being into mountain biking as a hobby. So we could look around Banff and Canmore and know that there's a number of trailheads for the mountain biking areas. We could put up a poster there as a best practice. We could also have a QR code or that really simple URL to direct Billy right to our application page. But let's keep going, because guess what? In the wintertime in Banff, there's not a whole lot of mountain biking going on, and we might want to start our recruitment efforts. So what else is Billy, our ideal staff avatar, doing? Well, we know that he is into yoga. I happened to look it up, and there are 3 yoga studios that not only have an area, one of them had a poster board where we might be able to post something up, but the other 2 have pretty active Instagram. So could we approach those owners and see if they wouldn't mind sharing something about that job ad? 100%, that's a great idea. Billy is also a snowboarder. So there's a number of groups and communities online. I found one actually when I was doing this work where they actually share rides going back and forth to some of the local mountains. So in that group, that might be a way to get in front of these ideal candidates. Now let's think about Billy's shopping habits. Now, of course, he might be visiting some of the local bike shops and we could hit those up, but also online, Pink Bike is a very popular place to buy and sell mountain bike parts. And if you have a look in here, there's all kinds of features like forums, community blogs. This is a great place to potentially post those types of jobs. We can also see here that there is the Bow Valley. Bow Valley is basically where Banff is. There's a mountain bike alliance. There is a mountain biking Facebook group that we could check out. What about over here on the Facebook Marketplace? This is a very common place to look for mountain bike equipment. So we could go into the local marketplaces, or if Craigslist or Kijiji or places like that are more popular in your area. If we know that your ideal candidates are using this tool, it would be great to find a way to post your job ad in this location. We know from working with our own staff that people like Billy are big Instagram users. So of course we want to make sure that our job ad is showing up in our own Instagram feed. If we really wanted to get into paid ads, we might consider targeting people within the Meta ad space, but specifically on that platform because we know that they're using it. Now, if your ideal target candidates are not using Instagram, or they're not using TikTok, or they're not using LinkedIn, then we aren't going to spend our time going there. We also know that Billy is likely to use Reddit. So with a little searching, we found that there were subreddits that were dedicated not only to Banff and to Canmore, but to some of his hobbies as well. Another great site is meetup.com, where there are often communities of people gathering together in our destinations around various different hobbies. With your ideal staff avatar, don't forget to list out some of their potential previous work experience. If we're trying to find more people like Billy, there's a good chance they might still be working there. So we listed a store like REI or Mountain Equipment Co-op here in Canada as a place that Billy may have worked. And sure enough, they have community posting. They actually have job postings where you can email through a newsletter. And the Interpreters Guiding Association is a certification that you need if you want to do any guiding in Banff National Park. Sure enough, we reached out to the Interpreters Association, and they have a bi-weekly email, and you can include job postings. As you're working with your ideal staff avatar, another best practice is to type into Google the keywords that your ideal candidates might be using to find those jobs. This will do a number of things for you. First and foremost, we can see here that Indeed is obviously working with Google and some Google ads, and so we can very quickly see which paid ad services might be focused on our niche. So right away, we were able to see that their ZipRecruiter was a great lead if we want to consider some paid ads, as well as Indeed and Workopolis, which are all providing job postings that are similar to ours. But we also, through that search method, found a job bank on the Government of Canada website. Now, this is something that shows up in the top results because guess what? The Government of Canada is pretty reputable, and you can list jobs here for free. I didn't actually know that you could do that. We also saw that there was a forum dedicated to bike job or resort jobs here on mtbr.com, which I'd never heard of before, but I think is pretty big deal in the mountain biking community. So we can get additional inspiration just by searching for our job as if we were our candidate. As you're going through this process, don't hesitate to reach out to other business owners or organizations and ask for favors in getting the word out about your job applications. Very often you can have very fruitful partnerships. I know a lot of the ski resorts need that same kind of help recruiting for the winter season. And so you can have these great reciprocal efforts where they're helping get the word out about your positions and you can do the same for them. So obviously we're just scratching the surface of what's possible with this exercise. But keep in mind, this is going to look totally different depending on your ideal staff and who you're looking to recruit. All right, on to our next recruiting best practice. This one is often right under our nose, but many tour business owners don't set it up because they feel like it would take too much effort, and that is a referral program. Let's quickly look at the three main benefits of using a referral program. Firstly is enhanced candidate quality. Employees tend to refer candidates who not only match the job recruitments, but also the company culture, as they have a vested interest in bringing in people who will contribute positively to the team. The second benefit is a faster hiring process. Referred candidates can often bypass an initial vetting stage, speeding up the hiring process and getting those valuable guides into the field quicker. And lastly is this increased employee engagement. Offering incentives for successful referrals can boost morale on your own team and can make your guides feel directly involved in the growth and success of your company. All right, let's quickly run through some do's and don'ts for a successful referral program directly from our coaching team. Firstly, do offer meaningful incentives in your referral program. If you offer trivial amounts of money or things that just aren't that interesting or motivating, there's a good chance that this program is going to fail. We want to make sure that we recognize how much money, time, and effort this is saving you and your recruiting team. So I've seen anywhere from $300 to $500 for a successful referral, but this varies widely, of course, depending on what part of the world you're in and how desperately you ultimately need those staff members. Do communicate clearly about the program. You've got to make sure it's very clear how the program works, when people are being paid out, and the steps that they need to take. And finally, do celebrate and thank those staff members who do participate in that referral program. As for our don'ts, don't overcomplicate the process. If it's burdensome or it feels like jumping through hoops for one of your existing tour leaders to recommend somebody else, then it's just not going to be worth their while. We do recommend using a form that you can get information about the person that's being referred, but keep it as simple as possible. Don't limit participation. We might think, of course, of our existing tour guides, tour leaders, or experience hosts. What about other staff or potentially alumni? Or potentially even partners. All of those folks in your network are valuable sources to potentially refer you talented candidates. And finally, don't overpay just for interested candidates. We highly recommend that you tie these bonuses to successful hires. That might look like they have completed the training or they led their first couple trips. But make sure that that's clear with your program. And that's going to help make sure that if a tour leader or someone on your team is referring somebody in, they're going to be doing a bit of that filtering for you. So as you can see, it's important that we use a mix of channels when we're trying to supercharge our recruitment efforts. In the spirit of that, we've got 3 final best practices to inspire you this season. Firstly, leverage your existing network. This includes clients, partners, suppliers, past customers who already have a connection with your brand and could either be potential candidates themselves or know the perfect person for a job. A quick email blast detailing the open position, what you're looking for, and why it's an amazing opportunity can tap into an extensive and often untapped resource. 2, informal recruiting. Every conversation is a chance to recruit. Whether you're talking to someone at a local event, a fellow business owner, or even just a casual chat at your favorite coffee shop, mentioning that you're looking for new guides can open doors to candidates who might come recommended through trusted networks. This organic method often leads to finding passionate individuals who might be just working at the local coffee shop or you and your team might happen to run into. And finally, paid job postings, making the investment count and choosing the right platforms. While the free avenues are great, investing in paid job postings on targeted platforms can significantly increase the number of qualified candidates. Start with small budgets and adjust based on performance and the number of qualified candidates that you ultimately need. As a general rule of thumb, consider about 20 to 30% of your recruitment budget going toward these paid job postings, but you may want to invest more. A handy formula is to think about what is it costing you to have a job vacant, right? What would be the cost to you and your business and potentially your brand of having an underperforming or crappy staff member the whole season? I know for West Coast Sightseeing here in Vancouver, they were losing thousands of dollars a day because they couldn't find enough driver guides. So they actually worked with headhunting agencies to paying thousands of dollars for applied candidates because it was worth it to them to get their buses up and running. As you know, the success of your tour and activity business relies heavily on the people who are facilitating those experiences. And that ultimately boils back down to this moment right here. The investment of time and energy in getting the best possible people into our applicant pool is well worth the return. These are the folks that are ultimately going to create the incredible guest experiences, the ones that are going to become brand ambassadors and potentially even contribute to your team for years and years to come. Don't underinvest in this key moment in that recruiting, hiring, and training journey. We hope that you've been inspired with these best practices. If you'd like some support with this, or if you've got some questions or want to talk to an experienced tour business coach, reach out. We'd love to help. Before you go, what did we miss? What is your most successful recruiting strategy, little known hack, or best practice? Let us know in the comments down below. We'd love to see it. Before you go, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video.